Well, welcome to another session of Be Kinetic. Every now and again we do a motivational topic, and for this session I'd like to spend a couple of moments around the notion of only accepting excellence. Excellence is what makes us extraordinary. It's what separates us from the mundane, from the average, from being ordinary. And in 2008 at the Olympic Games, Usain Bolt, as he ran the 100-meter dash at 9.69 of a second. And the second runner-up, Richard Thompson, as he ran it at 9.89 of a second. And we're talking about 0.2 of a second. And the third runner-up is Walton Bix, and he ran at 9.91. Now, what is interesting is when I typed in the net worth of Bolt, is his current value is $60 million. Richard, who came in at second at 0.2 of a second, is his net worth is only $10 million. And we're talking about a $50 million difference because of a 0.2 of a second. When I looked for Dix's net worth, I honestly couldn't find it. I typed in, I scrolled many pages, and the only thing I could come up with was an article where he had an endorsement from Nike for $1 million a year. It's a huge difference in financial wealth. And so we've got to be asking ourselves is what is our little bit more? It is something of our decision to go, I'm going to go beyond the norm, beyond what is average, but it's not like we've got to make this world difference. It's this 0.2. Maybe it's coming into work just a little bit earlier or leaving a little bit later. Now, again, I'm not one who believes that you work yourself to death, but maybe in the sports, maybe it's in the cricket nets, one more ball extra. There's something about I'm going to just give myself something that is going to separate myself from everyone else. And how many times have we accepted average because in keyword we have decided to just settle? I've done my best, but I actually haven't. I haven't pushed it beyond. And again, I'm not talking about slaving ourselves to death, but it's giving that little bit extra that is going to give us the results that we're looking for. So instead of having 10 mil, is we now have $60 million because of this extra effort. I was lucky. I received a phone call the other day from Vodacom. And the gentleman who phoned me, he told me they've been looking at my account and I have the wrong account. I can have a different account where I'm going to save some money. I'm spending too much. I was flabbergasted. Here a company phones me to tell me I'm spending too much money. I am sold because I've been at other cell phone providers and none of them phoned me and said, by the way, you are spending too much. It's that little initiative that has made a tremendous difference on my thinking. The same with RMB. I was privileged is they phoned me up and they said, listen, do you realize that if you add this feature to your account, here are the benefits, and at the end of the day, you'll be saving money. Now, it's most probably not someone physically looking at my account. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, but I'd be surprised if they are. It's most probably just an algorithm that brings and tracks these things and brings it to their attention, but it doesn't make a difference. The fact is, someone has either programmed the algorithm or someone is physically looking at my account on a regular basis, and it's these little notions that makes such a tremendous difference that from my side, I tell you now, I am super loyal to both Vodacom and to RMB. And if someone phones me and says, yeah, but you can get a better this and yeah, about this, the chances of me moving is highly unlikely because of a phone call. So part of this extraordinary is this little bit extra, and we need to be asking ourselves, what are the small things that we can be doing that will make this extra within our function, within our lives? And for me, it's really some basics. If you work in a corporate environment, it's simply coming to work on time instead of being late. Depending on the type of meeting you go to, is that you are neat. If you're wearing a tie, that your tie is done up, that you don't have ruffled hair. Now, obviously, if you're with a bunch of friends, that's no problem, but you're sending out an email. Is it spell checked? Is the person you're sending it to, is it the correct name? Is their name spelled right? And there's these little nuances that separate us from the norm. And so many people go, yeah, but it's good enough. And I go, you're right. It's good enough for second place. And that person has lost $50 million because of that 0.2 of a second. So again, it's challenging ourselves. What are the decisions we're making, and is it putting us number one by this little extra, or is it putting us in second place that at the end of the day is costing us big time? So to wrap this up is, I want to talk about the excellence is the combination of efficiency and of effectiveness. And efficiency simply is doing the job right. Effectiveness is doing the right job. So excellence is doing the right job correctly. And just bringing this together to go, have I settled for not something poor, not something bad, not something wrong, but at a lower level, that by simply doing something extra, something just a little bit more, is going to take me to this level of excellence that is separating me from the average. So something to think about, something to stir your functioning, something to, maybe have a bit of an internal reflection. And until next time, be kinetic.